Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works. Of course, the goal, as always, is to find something comfortable and sturdy. You don't want to have to shift during the practice because you're uncomfortable, but you also don't want to feel like you're about to fall over because you don't have a sense of stability. So sitting in a chair works nicely. You can even sit on the floor in a formal meditation posture, or you can lie down. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. However, if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, feel free to do so. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and just leave the screen alone and just drop them gently down below you. Just a nice soft gaze below you. We're not staring at anything. We're also not zoned out and blurry. Just a gentle, clear gaze directed softly downwards. You're in a nice, sturdy, and comfortable position. Your eyes are either closed or open, directed downwards. Notice how you feel right now. Just take stock. Not with judgment, not with an aversion, just simply noticing how the body feels. Do you notice any sense of tension? Do you notice any sense of contraction? A sense of feeling closed off rather than open? And if you can't really tell, imagine somebody you deeply love, like a good friend or a parent or somebody you admire greatly, just walked into the room to greet you, as if you haven't seen them in a long time. How does your body react to this? Does it further become constricted, or does it open up and relax? Almost an inviting sense. Just notice how you feel. And maybe we're so used to being constricted and closed off that we don't even notice that that is the case. So instead of sitting with the sense of being constricted, closed, invite this openness, a sense of welcomingness, a sense of acceptance into your body. And if you're having trouble accepting or welcoming openness, imagine that loved one looking at you or coming to comfort you. And just invite those feelings in. And the key word with all of this here isn't a sense of doing, like an active invitation of openness, but rather an allowing of this openness to happen all by itself. Calm, clear, relaxed, inviting. The body wants to relax and become open. The mind wants to settle and accept all things. So we don't need to force any of it. We don't even need to try to make it happen. We just allow it to happen by itself. And we're not looking to some future to get there or hoping for some outcome. Be patient and relax. Here, here and now. All right, you can look at the screen. Many people get confused, especially when they practice with this channel, at least with the Attentive Mind, but other Buddhist practices or insight meditation, vipassana, other things like that. Because a lot of these circles will talk about no self, seeing through this illusion of I. And I'll say it all the time, wake up from the dream of being me. But what does that really mean? Because most of us feel clearly that I exist. Like that sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous to say, oh, there's no self, there's no me, I'm right here. Right? And it's only because we fail to pay sufficient attention to our experience that the feeling of I becomes an obvious fact. In other words, we feel that I exist. There's a me here that can do things and makes choices. That is real because we failed to look sufficiently at what's happening with our experience. Because we're always outwards into the world, me, you, all that, and we're all in the stories and our problems and our issues and the things. We don't take time to be quiet and just turn the attention back to see, okay, well, what is this I really? What is it really, for real? You know? And if you do that, if you actually look, you'll find that this sense of self we have, this feeling of, it's interesting that we feel kind of more to be in our head than we are in our foot, right? You could chop off your foot, whatever. But you chop off your head, you're dead, right? But we also feel that somehow my foot is down there and I'm up here. My neck is closer to me than my foot is. And I exist somehow behind my eyes, in between my ears, and I operate from someplace in here, and I use a body. There's an I that has a body. We feel to be ghosts in the machine. But if you pay attention and just look at that for a sufficient amount of time, like really look without judging and talking about it and naming it. Like if I were to say, what color is this? You can't think about it. You look at it. Oh, that's the color. Looking at this I in the same way, where is it? What is it? The feeling of I really comes from a sense of contraction in the body. The feeling of, well, I obviously exist. And we all know this sense of contraction. Let's say maybe you were doing something as a kid you weren't really supposed to, and then your father or your mother looks at you like, did you do that? You get this sense of, that you almost feel it in the chest. Or when you're out in public, or maybe you have social anxiety, you look at other people, look you in the eyes, and there's this sense of, there's something, it feels like something's being implicated in their gaze. But what's happening is just this contraction in the body. It's like a closed offness, a sense of a protection. And we actually do it with our eyes here too. We kind of strengthen the muscles around our eyes when we're thinking about something. We frown a little bit, and then we got this me problems, and I got this, and then so because whenever you're stressed, you're not open. You're closed off. And when you're stressed, you're really a sense of I, a sense of me. But you notice the moments that you don't feel, the moments you're really happy or you're engaged in something in a flow state, you don't have that contraction. There's an openness. You're watching a beautiful movie. There's no I in the movie. There's just the movie scene, and you're totally with it. Or you're looking at a sunset, or there's a sense of openness. It's just the physical contractions that convince us that we are real. And then, of course, it's the stories of the talking about my story, where I was born, where I'm going, who I am, and what I like, and what I don't like, and why I don't like this, and this is a problem because of this, and that story. She's horrible. I'm good because I know she's horrible. I'm going to complain about this. It makes me right. It makes me feel like I'm real. So this practice is about looking at it for real. What are you? For real, what are you? This isn't something to just add to your bag of tricks to make you feel better. For me, meditation isn't that. You take it up to wake up. And not to be better, because who becomes better? Find that one. Is it real? Waking up from this illusion of a me is essential to well-being. And that's why we're here. And of course, if you're new here, I post a video like this every day. I'm here to invite you to practice, invite you to see you. What am I? What are you? That's what we're here for. And of course, if you have questions about what I talk about here, please comment below. I answer all questions in a separate Q&A video, and I'll send it to you when I finish the video. I'll send you your question. But yeah, show up every day. And not just to this, practice on your own. Take what you learn and do it on your own. You don't need the internet to practice. Remember that. It's very important. But thank you for showing up today. Thank you for showing up for your life. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.